This is Heartrepreneur Radio, maximizing your personal and business results by leading with your heart. With your host, Teri Levine. Listen every week as Teri tackles the topics that will help you become a successful heart-centered entrepreneur. Be sure to read the blog posts at www.heartrepreneur.com/blog. Come back often and add this show to your favorite RSS feed or subscribe in iTunes. You can also follow Teri on Twitter at MentorTeri and on Facebook.com/Heartrepreneur Teri Levine. And now here's Teri.
Hello and welcome again. This is Teri Levine here with Heartrepreneur Radio, Heartrepreneur TV. As always, first, I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for being a heartrepreneur, someone who helps other people grow and transform through whatever it is that you do in the world, helping other people in ways that they can be better in business, in life, in health, in wealth, in wellness, in relationships. You know, you're heartrepreneurs. Thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for sharing the show. And let me ask you a question. Can a coach or an entrepreneur become known as the rock star of their industry to attract more high-end clients and to further increase their income? Can they? Well, my next guest, you are going to be floored. She says absolutely yes. And not only does she say yes, she says she can show you the way, which means you have to stay tuned in because I want to know the way also. Today I have with me a best-selling author, a speaker. Her name is Luana Ribeira, and she has appeared on networks like Fox, ITV, BBC, Channel 5. She's been featured in Forbes as one of the top 21 emerging females that was to watch in 2018. And oh my God, she's gone on from there. She's contributed to publications like the Huffington Post, Thrive Global, Addicted to Success. Let me tell you, I have the rock star with me. She has a book coming out called Game of Phones. Think about this for a minute. Game of Phones. Build an empire from your mobile. Now, isn't that brilliant? And it's the first of many books. And I have to say to you, I knew she was the perfect guest to bring to you, heartrepreneurs. Welcome, Luana. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on.
You're welcome. First of all, just in our pre-show warm-up, I'm like, the energy that you have is so beautiful and it's so perfect. And I can tell you're a yes person. How did you get into this industry? How did you find your way?
It's been a long and crazy journey. It's definitely not what I planned. I always wanted to be a dancer, but I went from dancing into acting, into opening an acting academy, into...
If you have any challenges in your business and you want some business advice and help, we're here to do a customized blueprint to help you overcome your biggest business challenge. Send an email right now to Teri, Terri, at Teri Levine, Levine, and we will tell you how to get your customized business blueprint. We are truly here to help you.
Then that blew up. So then I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream, which was to move abroad and to build an animal sanctuary, which we've been working on for the past 3 years. And then from there, I went into teaching other people how to create freedom in their businesses. And as part of that training I was delivering, I noticed that I couldn't stop talking about getting into the media and writing books. So that's when I found my niche. So it's been a crazy journey, and definitely not in a straight line.
I love it. It's interesting as you're talking, I started out wanting to be an actress, and I was an actress as a child. And I started my college career thinking, I was going to go into acting. And my journey has changed, and I love what I do, and I feel like I no longer need to act. I can be authentic and make a difference. So I just resonate with
that. I really, really resonated with that. I used to be really shy, like painfully shy. I couldn't even talk to anybody. So acting was a big part. So I think that's why I went for dancing first, because I could express myself without needing to talk. And then I progressed into acting and built my confidence there. And then it got to the day where I thought, do you know what? I just want to stand up and be me, you know, and be seen for who I am. And yeah, but I love acting. I'll always love acting. It's really interesting to know that you used to act as well.
And here's another parallel, and people may be surprised to hear this. I am an introvert, and I know people are always shocked. They're like, well, you're on TV and you speak to, you know, audiences of thousands of people. I'm an introvert. Typically, I'm the one at a party that's standing alone. I'm not the conversationalist. My preferred style is to be an introvert. So acting for me was a way to build my confidence and be able to be somebody else so I could talk to people. So I'm actually fascinated by this parallel between us.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I completely get that. I can honestly say there's no way in the world I'd be doing what I'm doing now without acting. And even now, I still bring in the acting techniques. You know, I use the visualizations before getting onto interviews. Like before coming on here, I was doing a visualization. You know, it really helps to get me into the zone, exactly in the same way as I used to get into the zone to get into a character. I'm still getting into a character, but I'm getting into, you know, the next level version of myself. I'm naturally quite an inverted person as well. You know, I love people and being around people, but I also need my own space. And I also need quiet time.
So you're saying we could become, I love the word, the rock star of our industry, right? We can get more high-end clients. We can have more wealth. So how do we let's talk introvert for a minute. How do we take someone who is a bit shy and quiet and say, oh, you're going to be the rock star of your industry. You're going to make a lot of money. You know, there's going to be some listeners and viewers that are like, really? So what do you have to say?
I've got a little technique for this and I'd love to share it.
Please.
So this again comes from acting. So something that I do with my clients and something I do for myself is to think before going on a video or a live stream or, you know, something scary. Think about somebody in a movie or on TV, a character that you would want those qualities, you know, somebody who is outgoing, who's confident, who is that person. And then I have this visualization where you go into their mind and you see the world through their eyes, and then your posture starts, you know, you sit like them, you start talking like them. And then, you know, it occurs to you that actually you are already that person, because as you know, with your acting background as well, acting isn't really hiding behind a character, is it? It's really pulling out that part that's deep down in your soul. So, and, you know, it's exactly the same. And that's what I've done for myself. And that's what I do with clients as well. It's a really effective technique.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And it's so true. And, you know, it's funny, before we get on to chat, before I do a radio show, a TV show, any interview, before I write an article or a blog, I'm always getting very intentional. And today, as I'm writing a blog, I want it to be a little humorous in the blog. And so I said, whose head can I put on and try on? And I just loved Lucille Ball. She's always made me laugh. So I said, I'm going to think like Lucy. And as I'm writing the article, you know, the spark of humor is coming out, still being authentic to who I am, and at the same time stepping in to something that will make me more powerful in the role that I'm playing. Can you speak to that?
Yes, that's exactly exactly it. And the reason why it works so well is because we can think about this next level version that we want to be, but some people find that difficult. Some people initially find it easier to resonate with a character who they don't realize that it is them. It's already them. You know, those parts, they're already there. So yeah, it's awesome that you do that as well.
So let's take someone who is in business, they provide some type of a service, and they've heard about high ticket. High ticket, people have more wealth through high ticket. And what if there's this piece of their heart and soul that says, yes, but I really want to help everybody and everyone can't afford high ticket? How would you speak to that, Luana?
The way I do it, I mean, I only do high ticket. I used to do low ticket as well, but I made the decision around a year ago now to focus fully on high ticket, but I deliver lots of free value as well. So if people aren't ready to work with me yet, then, you know, I've got a free group where I deliver free trainings that'll help people to get to that level. And that's because I really just wanted to focus on refining that high ticket offer and just focusing on that. So that's what I would say to anyone else, really. I mean, there's so many options that people can do. Some people prefer to have, you know, different price tags for different things so that they can be suitable for everybody. But I prefer the high ticket, and I'm happy to give my time free to people who aren't ready to work with me yet, you know, and I'll do that in a group setting, of course. I always, you know, I make sure that I look after myself and I'm not running around after everybody else all day. But if people need to learn what I've got to share, then they can join, you know, and yeah, that seems to work well for me. So that's what I would suggest.
Very aligned with where I come from and how I think and feel. When people work with me, they work with me at high ticket due to the fact that I want to deliver immense value, and I don't want to work with a lot of people. I want client family members that are loyal, that I can stick with and make a real difference for. And like you, at the same time, I have a free group, I have free resources, I have books, I have PDFs, I have emails, I have newsletters, I have trainings, I have videos. Sometimes I even do some free events, whether it's a webinar, an automated webinar, or a live event. And all of that is because the part of me that says, well, I really want to help more people, lets me do that. And this, what I kind of look at as a parade of people that might not be ready for high ticket, at some point might. And even if they're not, that's okay, right?
Exactly. We're on the same wavelength with that. That's exactly my thought. And it clicked. It clicked for me around a year ago when I'd built a group program for writing a book, which I adore. But what I realized while I was delivering it was that I wasn't feeling fulfilled as a group program. What I did was I ended up giving one-to-one time anyway, which is fine. But obviously I couldn't continue to deliver on that level and for the group to keep growing. So I ended up closing the doors on that and just going into one-to-one, where I love seeing people improve and I want to be with them every step of the way. And things like books and media, there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of mindset issues that get in the way with people. So I want to be there for them all the time, you know, to help them to get past these blocks. What I learned, a really important lesson that I learned was that...
Is your business struggling? You want more leads, you want to convert leads more easily, you want more revenues, more profits. Whatever your biggest business challenge is, we're here to help you. We have a proprietary proven process that's guaranteed here at Heartrepreneur to help you increase your revenues and profits. And we have the ability to help you overcome your biggest business challenge. Simply send us an email to Teri, Terri, at Teri Levine, Levine.com, and we will show you how we can help you overcome your biggest business problem by doing a customized blueprint just for you. Whatever your problem or challenge is, stop struggling, stop the frustration. Let us help you so that you can have more money, more freedom, and more free time in your business. Do it now. Send the email now.
More than the step-by-step process, what people really need is support and feedback on their work.
I agree with that. I think what's missing in many industries, coaching, consulting, mentoring, strategists, advising, therapy, counseling, is some form of continued support and accountability, right? So, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and she said she was trying to lose weight. And I said, well, what are you doing? And she told me, and she was eating healthy, and she was working out and drinking water. And then she said, yeah, and then I don't, and then I do, and then I don't. And I said, who are you turning to for accountability and support? And there was silence. And I know that the reason that you're helping people, the reason I'm helping people, is we also provide that ongoing part of keeping in the right mindset, moving forward and taking actions. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. Now, I want to shift topic for a minute because I'm so intrigued with this. First of all, I always tell my client family members titles are everything. And then when I read the title of your book, Game of Phones, Build an Empire from Your Mobile, I'm like, brilliant. Obviously a takeoff and Game of Thrones. Absolutely brilliant. So I just have to say kudos, and to every single person who has ever heard me talk about headlines are everything. That is one of the most brilliant headlines, period. So, Luana, first of all, kudos on the title.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Second of all, tell a little about this book, because I really believe this is where it's at. It's building from home. It's building behind a computer. It's building from your phone. And there's so many things that we can learn to do to help people, and we can do it online. So I'd love to hear what this book is about. I'm thrilled about it.
Yes, so this goes back to what we were talking about a minute ago, where we're offering high ticket offers and not everybody's going to be ready for that. So I wanted to release a book which is for people who are newer into business, and it's how to start an online business from your mobile phone. But I linked it to Game of Thrones after watching the series and just realizing how many lessons there are in resilience and building a tribe and all of the getting over challenges, all of these things that are in the series. And so I decided to link that to the book, and Game of Thrones was born.
Absolutely brilliant. And it's the first in a 3-part series, yes?
Yeah, so we're starting off with discovering who that person is, who the next level self is, and removing any obstacles such as fears and everything like that. I have a little character that I call this voice in my head, and you'll probably be familiar with the little voice that says, oh, what are you doing that for? Oh, you're not good enough to do that, and all of that stuff. I call it the leveling up monkey. And I talk about this in the book, and we really, really need to be aware of this leveling up monkey and what parts of what we're telling ourselves is actual fact and what's being created by the leveling up monkey. And the leveling up monkey really is us, but as a child. So that's where these fears and stories are created, and we're now being controlled by this monkey, and we're taking that into our adulthood. So we need to be aware of this, and then we need to be able to distinguish, well, what is real here and what is the leveling up monkey. And then we need to not be pushing the monkey away, but welcoming him in and welcoming him on this journey with us, but making sure that monkey knows who's in charge. So the first book is all about, becoming that person, getting over the mindset issues, and then building that online kingdom. So, finding your people, drawing them in, getting clear on your message, who you're here to serve, and what difference you're here to make in the world, and then how to get that message out there on a wide scale, and then how to monetize that.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I love the title. I love the concept. I love what you're doing. So a couple of questions. How do people find you, and what's the best way to connect with you?
Easiest way, Facebook, Luana Ribeira. I'm always on there, far too much. And I always reply to messages. So if anyone's listening and has any questions, feel free to reach out. And
then where do people find the books?
My website, luanaribeira.com.
Boy, you make it easy. You make it super easy. So let's say someone is getting excited and thinking, oh, maybe I can do this, and maybe I can help people and do this online. How does someone go from being an unknown to being known in a niche? I would love your tips on that.
Oh, it can happen very, very quickly. It can happen very quick. And I'm going to talk you through some steps. So first of all, Google yourself and see how you're showing up. Look at yourself from the eyes of somebody who doesn't know you, who's never heard of you, and see what they see. All of your profiles should be online. They should clearly be showing who you are, who your message is, and proving that you are the real deal. So I'm talking about social proof here. Things like proof that you're actually delivering results. Other people talking about you, and this is where media comes in. Because if you're online and you're shouting about yourself, that's great. But anybody can do that, right? Then the next level is if you're consistently proving results. So sharing client results, testimonials, other people on Facebook talking about you, brilliant. Then take it to the next level. Now, this is where books and media come in. With a book, it makes it a lot easier to get into the media. And if you get into the media, all of a sudden, you're being brought on as an expert by brand names that people recognize. That's huge. That is huge, because the thing that holds most people back from working with you is trust. So that breaks down that barrier. It's so effective.
Brilliant words of wisdom, brilliant tips. Going back to my career in this industry for like the last 26 years or so, I was an unknown. No one heard of me. I wasn't in this industry. And I wrote some articles, and the media picked up on some of the articles. And the next thing I knew, I was on ABC, NBC, BBC, CNBC, MSN. I was like, who? Then I wrote my first book many moons ago called Work Yourself Happy. And all of a sudden, other people were talking about me. So I had the media, and then I had a book. I think these are absolutely brilliant words of wisdom. I can see why people turn to you, and you help turn them into the rock star in their niche. Who is ideal to work with you?
I normally work with 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs, people who already have established businesses, people who know who their audience is, they know what their message is. And this, I do work with people who haven't fully figured that out. I have done, but it's going to be more effective for people who already have these things in place. I mean, personally, I wrote my book and got into the media, and I didn't have a website, I didn't have anything, and I was going from running an acting school to, helping people in business, completely different, and I made it work. But it's going to be more effective if you already have an established business, if you know who your people are, and if you're very clear on what your offers are and what your message is.
Perfect. And remind people again how they can reach out to you, how they can connect with you, and definitely where they can get your books.
Facebook, Luana Ribeira, or head over to my website, luanaribeira.com.
Perfect. Perfect. You have given us so many nuggets. I'm so appreciative. I really, really hope that people have listened with their heart, not just with their ears, because underneath your words, there were so many golden nuggets. How about one more word of wisdom before we sign off today?
What I'd like to say to everybody listening is that there's something about you that makes you unique. There's something about you that makes you worth listening to. So many people think that they're super talented, but they struggle to see it in themselves, and they just think, well, there's so many other people already talking about this topic, but guess what? They don't have your exact experience. They don't have your exact perception. They don't have, what makes you you. They don't have that injection of you in it. So regardless of how many books or, people there are speaking on a certain topic, you are going to make it different if you tap into who you truly are and you let that shine.
That's so magnificent. And I just want to thank you, first of all, for shining your light and for sharing your time and your wisdom here at Heartrepreneur Radio and TV.
Thank you so much again for having me on. It's been so much fun.
I've had a blast. And for the listeners and the viewers, first thing that I would say is make sure that you go out there and you connect with Luana. Secondly, I would recommend that you watch the educational webinar, Nothing to Be Sold, truly educational, done for our viewers and our listeners at tlwebinar.com. TL stands for Teri Levine, tlwebinar.com. And the third thing that is really important is if you are not yet a member of our community group, go over to Facebook and find the group Heartrepreneurs with Teri Levine. Why? I go in there and I do daily trainings and daily education that will help you and also give you an example of exactly what Luana and I talked about. Do things for free, of service, of value. And I hope Luana will join us as well and be a part of our community there. I know she will. So again, thank you for tuning in here at Heartrepreneur Radio, Heartrepreneur TV. And I ask you to be very intentional as you go about your day, as you go about your business, constantly asking yourself this question: who else can I help? Who else can I help? Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at Heartrepreneur Radio, Heartrepreneur TV.
You've been listening to Heartrepreneur Radio, maximizing your personal and business results by leading with your heart with your host, Teri Levine. This show is produced every week for your enjoyment and education. To make sure you never miss a single show, add us to your favorite RSS feed or subscribe in iTunes. You can also read Teri's latest blog posts at www.heartrepreneur.com/blog or follow Teri on Twitter at MentorTeri and on Facebook.com/Heartrepreneur Teri Levine. Your questions and comments are always welcome and appreciated. Send them to Teri on either Facebook or Twitter. Thank you for listening.